That's it. I think we're live. Let's see here. We'll give it a minute, make sure everything's working. It says we're live. Something went wrong. Tap to replay. Okay, cool. I think we're...
Hello.
Hello, everyone. We haven't done one of these in a while, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a few weeks, I think. Yeah.
Weeks? It's been like a couple months since we've both been on one, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we could say where we were. So in August, we took a big road trip all the way across the country. We were just kind of driving all around the country, and then we finally went to one of our bucket list cities, and that's Chicago. We've been wanting to go to Chicago forever, so we finally just pulled the trigger and went to Chicago.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So back to work, back to the grind, and doing all the things for the business. So we thought we would hop on and talk about a few things, like I guess a few housekeeping things. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. You know, helps boost the algorithm, whatever, YouTube.
I don't know about that.
Lingo. So just do that if you haven't already. We are thinking about doing a Halloween live stream where we talk about some of our favorite Halloween movies and shows.
Well, I was thinking what we could do is kind of like when we did the Super Bowl one, we're going to maybe do the tier system. Maybe we could do that. We'll put movies and shows and just kind of talk about it real quick and just kind of rank it. Because, yeah, we just finished the Ed Gein one on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good show. I
enjoyed but I won't recommend it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'll say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just have something for fun for Halloween because that's our favorite holiday and... we just want to do something a little different. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Any other housekeeping stuff?
No.
We have some new videos that you've been making, some tutorials, some cool animations. So
yeah, if you check out our YouTube channel, I finally made... This has been a video I've been wanting to make for like a long time. And I finally just pulled the trigger the other day. And it was like how to scroll a video using like GSAP and Elementor. I've known how to do it, but I finally went into more technical detail on how to make sure it works. So yeah, that video I hope is going to be one of our bigger videos on the channel. I think it's a need that a lot of people like is when you scroll a video, it will start to play as you kind of go. So yeah, it's not built into Elementor, and then if you were to do another tool, it would be complicated. Whereas my way is kind of hand code it, but it's not so bad. I think
it's a cool video.
Yeah.
I think that it adds a lot of interest to websites, so check that out. I think that's all for housekeeping stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As always, we have no real agenda when we do these live streams, but we had a few things that we thought we could talk about. The first thing being Fluent Cart, which is the big thing that everybody in our space has been talking about for the past week.
Yeah, let me see if I switch over. Like I said, we still haven't really used the software too much. But okay, so we're going to be in the bottom left corner. And then this is just like the Fluent Cart website. We could just kind of go through it. So yeah, we've been talking about this for a while because this has been in production. I was watching Paul's live stream yesterday or the other day with the developer. They started this back in 2019, but just the past couple years they've gone heavy on it, and now it's actually out. So it officially came out. And so, yeah, they gave me some licenses because I'm a content creator, so they wanted me to test it out, and I did. And I'm right down the middle. I'm mixed. Let's go down to the pricing. This is always where I look, at least. I'm thinking most people will probably like this too. So 50 websites, $1,000 one time. So $1,000, $1,100, and I don't know. I think this is too expensive for a product that just came out. I think that it's way overpriced for 50 websites. What are your opinions? Because I know that you don't know much about it yet.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But how much is a Shopify site?
Yeah.
And that's who they're competing with. They're competing with Shopify. They're competing with WooCommerce, which is free, but you have a million add-ons to make it work the way you want it to. I think that if they offer the same level of features that a Shopify can offer or WooCommerce can offer, then it's totally worth it. If they're not, then I don't think that I would pay for it.
My opinion is when you sign up for this, I mean, it's still basically like you're a guinea pig. Like you're going to have to go through a lot of pain points with a new product. So that's something that not a lot of people talk about is like, I mean, we had to deal with it with Elementor, for example. Like there was some major upgrades at one point that was like a make or break on your website. Do you remember that? Like before like site settings came out? When that came out, it was a really messy it was a problem. Let's just say that. So you're going to deal with that here. That's something that when you do a new product, you're going to have to grow with them. And so there's going to be these milestones of like this major shift in like the code or WordPress. So I don't want to deal with that. Honestly, like when it comes to e-commerce, I want a product that's like stable, has been and matured, has been out for a long time. Because e-commerce is a hell of a lot different than like a static website. A static website goes down or something, you could figure it out. But e-commerce, any problems, you're losing money. Like that's revenue.
Right.
And then if we're supporting client websites, and let's say we're on vacation and FluentCart does something funky, it's gonna be a mess. Like I just see a lot of potential of not great things like as you grow with it, you know. So that's one of my concerns is the pricing I think is way too aggressive in the beginning. I know that they have to make money, of course, but I think that there's a lot of features that are missing. They do have a roadmap up here. From what I can tell, let me see if I scroll down here. So I did install this on my website, and one of the first things that has happened is there's a filtering system like on the shop page, kind of like what you expect. It broke. It broke on my end for some reason. I don't know if it's because I updated the plugin. But what I did notice, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and go to the roadmap just so I have it. So excuse me if it goes fast. I noticed that the filtering like broke, and I want to be able to hook that into like Jet Engine. Jet Engine is one of the most powerful like plugins out there for when you want to integrate, you know, data in between like Elementor and WordPress and like WooCommerce, but it's not going to be supported as far as I know anytime soon. So somewhere on here I saw they have a roadmap. Where is it? There it is. So here's some of the roadmap stuff right here, because even like I said, she's brand new to this. She's just been hearing me talk about it. So of course there's going to be all of these payment gateways that won't be supported now, but maybe in the future they will. Which I heard the developer
support now.
I think like PayPal, Stripe is in there. On down here, it'll tell you which ones.
Okay.
This will be big. Migration from Woo, so you're going to be able to integrate from Woo.
Yeah.
Upsell, downsells in there, sales funnel. So advanced variations. I don't know what that means. This is a really big one. This is a huge one. Email customizations. That's if you can integrate that with like a good template maker inside of the system, that's going to be great. Elementor is not fully integrated yet, so I think you just use shortcodes right now, but then in the future you're going to be able to drop in widgets. So see that right there, like we use Elementor, of course, but we don't know what that means. So that could just mean it's kind of bare bones. Like I would like to know what type of granular controls. So yeah, here are the things right now, just kind of standard stuff, coupons, basic shipping. So it's definitely fast. Like I'll give them that. Yeah, PayPal, Stripe, and was that one last one? Paddle? Yeah, I don't know where that is.
I think like any other software, you should wait to see. I'm never one to adopt a new technology or new software right from the beginning. I like to get people's opinions of it, see how the company responds to requests and bugs and all of that before I dive right in.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe in a year, if
we'll come back to it.
If it's still around and they're still updating it, then I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they're gonna have a lot more. At least that's what they're planning. But, you can write a roadmap, but that doesn't mean that everything's going to happen.
Yeah. And so
things happen that are out of your control sometimes. So
yeah. And with Paul's video, WP Toots, when I asked when the developer was on there, I was late to the live stream. They talked about it in the beginning, but I was asking, is there going to be a legit like marketplace where there's going to be developers who would go in and create things? Because most of the time when we create a WooCommerce website for a client, it's great out of the gate. You could work. WooCommerce is fine, but the minute that you want to start doing more advanced stuff, like one of the big plugins that a lot of our customers want is like a delivery time and like pickup time. So like a date where they choose a date like in the future, and then choose a time when they can pick something up. So one of our big clients is like a bakery. So they want to have it where someone can say, hey, I want to come in on Tuesday between 10 and 11. And then there's so many slots. That's not built in, of course, to like Fluent Cart. But that's going to be a feature that if nobody has that, it's going to be a pain in the butt, because then you're going to have to hand code that functionality. And then from what it sounds like is that they're going to open up API stuff, right? So I think what they're doing is they're kind of playing the middle ground where they don't want to have a full marketplace, but they also don't want to fully develop every single like scenario, because you can't. There's infinite amount of scenarios. So I think opening up to an API level could work, but I also think that there's going to be a lot more limitations rather than someone building like a plugin on top of WooCommerce like it is now. So that's to me a little bit of a red flag. I don't know if that's going to be a great way. And then one other thing that nobody else is talking about is Matt Mullenweg. Do you think that he's going to roll over and allow Fluent Cart to come in and just take over all the WooCommerce?
Yeah, that was the first thing that I said when this came out, when he was talking about this. I was like, so what's Matt Mullenweg going to do?
Yeah, because we know he plays dirty.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how he's, reacted to WP Engine and his little temper tantrum that he had. He doesn't play nice with others. None of these big tech bros do. They want control of everything. So there's a good chance that this might not even be around in a year, unfortunately.
Well, it could be.
I hope not.
It could be around, but he could make it very difficult. I don't know the information, but with WooCommerce, they have Woo Payments, which is like some sort of affiliate that they got with Stripe. So I could be wrong, but they might be making a small percentage on every single sale that you do if you use Woo Payments. So that generates them probably a lot of money. And I do not think that Matt Mullenweg and Automattic is just going to be like, yeah, come on in, Fluent Cart, and take all of this business. So at any moment he could pull, he can make it very difficult to make it work with with WordPress. So,
right, I think that's a very strong possibility, unfortunately.
Because that was one of the first things you mentioned, right, when I told you about this.
That was my first thought. Was like, well, Matt Mullenweg's not gonna have competition.
Yeah,
and this is, I feel like, one of the only competitors to WooCommerce that I've ever heard of.
There's been some other ones, but nothing that got off like
exactly.
That. Yeah.
And this is the one that I feel like I've heard about this for months now. People talking about Fluent Cart and how it's going to change WordPress and all this stuff. But there's been ones that have tried and they've gotten nowhere. And I do think that it's because of the way the ecosystem is, that it's very difficult. It's very difficult to make any kind of software.
Yeah. But I do think, I really do think that if you don't have that marketplace, because WooCommerce, it sucks without all of the additional plugins. Do you have to pay for them? Yeah, but that's how it is on any other platforms too, on Shopify's and everything. So I don't know. I think that you have to have that marketplace. I think that is one of the most important components of running these platforms, because could you hand code all the stuff yourself? Yeah, but then you have to support it, and it's a mess. So
right. I think that it's going to be an uphill battle for these guys, unfortunately. Yeah. I hope that they succeed, because it sounds like it has tons of potential, and I believe we need some competition for WooCommerce, because WooCommerce, it's outdated. It doesn't do all the things that it should do. it's hard to use.
It's very slow. Like,
Yeah.
so
and
that's
I
one
think
thing.
that they could make it something that's way better. So I
Yeah.
hope that they do.
Well,
I
that is
hope that
one
they
thing
succeed.
with Fluent Cart. They like have been stress testing it. You could throw like a million products at it, 500,000 users. Like it's fast because it's using like JavaScript. Yeah,
awesome.
and you could feel it when you're in the back end. I have no complaints about the product itself. It's the future of the product. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come back to this like years later, and I'm not willing to spend $1,100 to be basically a beta tester. I'm not doing that.
Well,
Like,
they give you a free license so you can
yeah,
test
yeah,
it
I can
out.
play around with it, of course, but
And so thank you for giving us the license because we did test it out and there's a
Yeah.
lot of cool things in it. So I see a ton of promise. It's just the egomaniacs at the top that will get in the way.
yeah, and I think one thing before we move on to a different topic is, WooCommerce was not something that he built. He bought WooCommerce, so they probably have to make back a lot of this money, and they're not just going to allow a competitor to come in. So, yeah, I've heard like nobody talk about that angle, but fun stuff. Yeah, we're always and when it comes to e-commerce websites, like they take priority. So our clients that are on e-commerce, like those are the ones that like I hate to say it every month when I go in and update, like I'm afraid to update the damn thing because it's like things break and then that means you lose revenue. So I'm not willing to like beta test a product. Like it's just something that I don't have in me.
Well, and I think too, a lot of our clients have very specialized e-commerce stores. Like, they're catering, they're bakeries where, you can't just sell a cake.
Yeah.
It has to be a cake for a special occasion on a certain day.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to spoil. So, there's certain instances where you need that e-commerce functionality, but in a specialized way. And if Fluent Cart is able to do that, I think it's
Yeah.
going to outshine WooCommerce.
Well, I think right here, like when Alan's asking, yeah, I think it is. It's for very small businesses. Yeah, as of right now, I think it is.
Right now, I
Yeah.
do think that it's for the smaller stores that are, just selling
One or two products.
Maybe, yeah, physical products like T-shirts or
So if
gloves or
it's-
something.
I would say if it's you, let's say it's your business and you know you're not going to add all this functionality, that's fine. But us as like an agency, we support clients' requests when they come in, and it's very rare that a WooCommerce website just stays a simple WooCommerce website, if that makes sense. Because what they do is 6 months later or a year later, they're like, hey, I want to be able to add a tipping system to our checkout or some sort of like radius or advanced
Delivery and-
delivery stuff.
yeah.
And I'm just like, as of
That's where
right
it gets
now,
complicated.
yeah, as of right now, it doesn't look like they're going to have that functionality like in Fluent Cart. So that's what's concerning to me is like they can't because they can't. They said it on the live stream with Paul. It's just like you can't have every scenario. That's why I was like, if there isn't a marketplace, this stuff isn't going to get developed for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
So
I think that in certain cases for our clients, it could work really well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get clients that don't need all that specialized functionality.
Yeah.
And I think that Fluent Cart would be a great option. But for the ones that have certain businesses where things are like time sensitive
Yeah.
or they only can deliver to a certain radius, that is where we're still going to need to use WooCommerce. So
I think I
just
would.
like anything, you
Yeah.
have to just assess your client's needs and figure out what's going to work
Yeah.
best for them.
I would say, yeah, it depends on your situation. Like I said, in our situation, we're agency, and it's very rare that it ever stays simple. Like it gets complicated all the damn time. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, WooCommerce is always fun. But is that it for that topic? Really, it's just kind
Unless
of
you have anything else to say.
no. I
Maybe
kind
we
of
can move on.
I kind of said my piece. I wish sometimes. I've been waiting months and months. I was like, I wanted it to just be this like WooCommerce killer. It's just not there. Like, it takes so long to develop these things, Like just like with Elementor, when Elementor came out, it was like a slow ride to get all the features we needed, and then because when we adopted Elementor, we were using Divi and Elementor. They were kind of like competing with each other, and so eventually, like Elementor had enough features for us to be like, let's move, What did I say? Woo
had add-ons
booking-
as well, like booking systems. Fluent does not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing, that our clients a lot of times need. We work with like salons and people that need booking for
Yeah.
services like that. So that's
I
where
do
Woo
like-
comes in. I think, in the future there's probably something that Fluent Cart could add
Yeah.
to allow that.
The Fluent Card out of the gate has subscriptions built in, which is amazing. I think
Yeah,
that's a great
that's
feature.
wonderful.
But I remember somebody asking recently, was like, oh, well, can you split the payments up between 6, 12, 1 month, 1 year? No, I don't think so. And so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, those little tiny things, they add up real quick and be like, you can't do it.
Yeah, I think that for us, it's always going to be, what does the client need? What's the best tool for them? And in some cases, Fluent Cart might be the best tool. And
Yep.
other cases, I don't think it will be. You have to do that no matter what type of website you're building. So it's really no different. But I think that Mark was hoping that Fluent Cart was going to be this replacement for WooCommerce.
Yeah.
And it's just not quite there yet. But
Yeah.
in the future, I hope it does get there.
Cool. All right, so what's you want to talk about a topic that you kind of been
Yeah,
noticing lately?
So one of the things that I wanted to bring up that I've been noticing, and this is something that I've noticed, people do since I started the business, is rebranding. Everybody thinks that they need to rebrand, and they'll change their logo, they'll change their website, they'll maybe change their name, but they're doing the exact same thing. They're not actually changing anything. So I wanted to kind of talk about, what does it mean to rebrand, and why should you do it? Because I see a lot of people, there's a few people in particular that I'm thinking about, that are kind of going through this now. I'm not going to mention names or anything, but I see that they're struggling to kind of figure things out. And I just wanted to talk about, like, what is a rebrand? So if I were to ask you, like, what do you think a rebrand of a business is, what would your answer be?
You're asking me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, most people probably think the very first thing is like change your logo. That's like the number one thing that probably people think. And then maybe change your messaging and maybe some visual cues. But that's kind of where I think most people stop, is like it's like a visual to them. They don't
Visual.
Yeah, they don't think deeper. They don't, and it wasn't until I met you and then you showed me, hey, you actually like have to have strategy and like some sort of like plan to get to where you want to get to. You can't just say
Right.
you want to do these things. So, but do you think that most of the time people do this when they're slow, right? Because business is slow for everyone. Let's just say what it is. The economy sucks like everywhere you are right now, basically. So I think a lot of people are getting in their heads like, we have to do rebrand, we have to do all this.
Yeah, I think that could be part of it, but to answer what you said, I do think that, but I also think that people are just not confident in themselves, and they're kind of throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping that it sticks.
Yeah.
I think that what you said about changing your messaging and your positioning, that is definitely part of a rebrand. That's the key. That should be number one in a rebrand, and I don't think that a lot of people focus on that. They're just like, oh, if I change my logo or I change my website, then I'm rebranding. But then they end up just doing the exact same thing that they were doing before. A true rebrand is figuring out a new audience, a new position in the market, a new strategy for your business. And there's so many people that are like, oh, I rebranded, and then they don't have that, and then they wonder why it's not working. And then they sometimes try something new again, and that really can do more harm to your business than it does help. If you're constantly changing, then people don't know you as an established company.
Well,
They're like,
so-
wait, I thought you were this person, a month ago. What happened? And they start to lose trust in you.
Yeah.
So I think that if you're doing a rebrand, it's really important to think about the why in doing the rebrand.
Well, so how many times we've rebranded? Twice,
One.
right?
One.
Since we started. So we started like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago now. Like 12 years ago?
We rebranded at one time, I would say.
Like in full, yeah.
In full, and that was really because when we started our business, we weren't thinking about all the things that I just mentioned. We were brand new to everything, and I think that has a lot to do with why people are constantly changing things up, because they are new and they're not confident in themselves. But so yeah, we definitely rebranded because we were like, oh, we have to sit down and actually figure things out.
Yeah.
And that made a world of difference once we figured out what we wanted to be, who we wanted to work with.
Yeah.
Who we wanted
See,
to
that's a big component with us. And then you can see right here, rebranding to be relevant and up to date in the business. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's so many changes in our business that like you're sometimes forced to do rebrands. I've noticed that too. Like we're almost in a position now where we're noticing that like we're not working with small business owners that much anymore because the landscape has changed, especially in our industry. So many people are using their own tools and they're not hiring out to do what we're doing. So we have noticed that, yeah, we're changing up the way we're working with stuff. So
but I would say to Alan that that's not actually rebranding, that's repositioning. And there is a difference. A rebrand is saying I'm going to change completely everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to just be a completely different company. Whereas repositioning, we've done
like Brett, I just said, repositioning
of times where we're like, okay, we're not really working as much with this type of client. Maybe we need to shift our messaging slightly to reposition ourselves to a different type of client. That is different than a full rebrand,
because you can then keep all of your visual stuff the same, and then
and the actual, like, your values, your mission, all that stuff can be the same. You're just slightly targeting a different audience. I think that honestly that's what a lot of people should be doing, but they're not. They're like, I'm going to waste time and change my entire website, my logo, my business name, do all this stuff that they don't really need to do. They just need to tweak their positioning.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's stuff that they don't really teach you anywhere. You kind of have to figure it out,
Well, it's something that, as a professional that's done branding for a long time, you learn that's really what like a lot of people need to do. I think that a lot of times people get distracted by the courses and the marketing of, hey, if you watch this video, it's going to 10x your business, if you join my course, you're going to make $1 million in a month, or whatever mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, that's something we definitely
say. And then they get caught up in that. It does nothing.
Yeah. That's something we've been wanting to talk a lot about, is like, when you're slow and you have to figure stuff out, one of the worst things you can do is start to go down like this course level and be like, oh, I got to take this course because this guy says I can make $1 million over here. But
just be careful.
They're always just trying to sell you a course. Like it's almost like, I consider like a lot of courses, I wouldn't say like pyramid scheme, but like you have to pay up front to be sold a dream, basically. That's what it is. Like I don't know. I know. So Jeff from Lightbox, I have a good relationship with him. He's got a good group. He nails it. He's like, you can't follow these people that are telling you, hey, go from $0 to $100 million. There's a lot of in between, but so many people just want to go from the zero. Oh, I want to make $100 million and then drive Lamborghinis. Like that's not. It's not how business works. Like,
and
you have
then
to
they get
grind it out.
discouraged because they're like, well, why didn't this work for me? This guy was promising.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times they don't even finish the course.
No.
90% of the courses that people sign up for don't get finished. So that kind of tells you
a huge
everything.
Percentage, yeah. Nobody knows the number, but it's very
no,
high.
No, it's literally like, I've done research on this. I did a whole thing about courses in a video, and 90% of courses do not get finished. But there is some value in courses, and I'm not here to say that you shouldn't want to try to improve and learn and grow. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying pick and choose who you take advice from, because a lot of people are not there to actually teach you anything. They're there to just take your money.
Extract your money, yeah. So I would say there is a difference between like technical courses and like business courses. Like technical is fine. Like once in a while, I'll take a technical course because I want to learn something. Like when I first got back into Blender, I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. I got a course. It helped me a lot because I got to see how someone did it from A to B. But I don't, when it comes to like business, you got to figure that stuff out on your own. Like our business is very unique to us, and no course in the world will ever cater to how we would have scaled our business. There's nobody out there in the world.
There's no one size fits all. I say that all the time. When it comes to business and it comes to branding, everybody is different. And the best thing that you can spend your money on is somebody that can help you define your brand strategy, be more of like a consultant to you. If you're going to spend your money on anything,
consulting,
that's what I would spend your money on. One-on-one time with somebody that's going to analyze your business and say, these are the things that I believe you should do. And that's how you're going to grow. It's not some one-size-fits-all plug-and-play course. It needs to be tailored to your business. You need somebody to say, okay, what are your goals? Okay, if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, well, how are we going to get there? You know, you're at $5,000 a month currently. How do we double that? What is the strategy going to be? And I think that so many people don't focus on the strategy. They just are like, let me just throw as much at the wall, see what works, and then they get burned out, they get discouraged, and they're just completely wasting their time.
So what does it say here? 100%. You want to read that one? Yeah.
100% for me. It's like I take out what I like from the course that can help on something I've maybe been struggling with. The rest is I think that is the case for a lot of courses, and I've taken plenty of courses. Some of them were really beneficial. Some of them were complete BS. So, you know, you just have to be careful with who you take advice from.
And if anybody's in front of a Lamborghini or a sports car, do not click on that course or a fancy house. Hell, we've even seen it where people, they rent out mansions. Remember how what did we watch? We were watching a video about this where people like rent out these mansions like an Airbnb. They shoot their courses there and be like, look at all this wealth I have. It's not their house. Like, and I could rent a Lamborghini. Like I could probably get a Lamborghini in my driveway like this afternoon if I wanted. And then I can stand in front of it and be like, hey, if you buy this wiki course, you're going to make $1 million. Like that's what people do. I'm not joking. Like people do that crap all the time. So,
and it's easy to do that. It's easy to sell the dream. So Alan was saying, I paid for a consultant in 2023 to tell me I was doing 2003 to tell me I was doing okay. Well, it sounds like you didn't have a very good consultant, unfortunately, because the job of a consultant should have been like, okay, well, what do you want to improve? That should be the first question. I mean, what do you want to improve, and then figure out a way to get there.
What is this? I want to downgrade my Jumbo now.
I don't know what that means. Sorry.
Is Jumbo a car? I'm not sure. So one idea you might want to write down is that's a good point. The difference between rebranding and reposition. Like that is true. Like I work with her, I live with her, and she comes up with these things, and I'm like, wow. So one of the biggest things, like when we first started our business, and she did something that radically like changed everything, and it was when we first had our website, just like everyone else, you always talk about how great you are as the agency. I'm the best. She's like, you need to reposition it and act as if you're the client. Be like, this is how we're going to help you. Like that changed everything for me. I was like, at first I was like, no, that's not going to work. People want to be sold to all the time. No, you want to address the pain points. Like, hey, you're here because of this problem, we can help you. Like that changed everything. So she knows what she's talking about. We've been in business for a long time. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. So I listen to you.
Thank you. Said pit your prices up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, again, it sounds like you unfortunately hired a bad consultant. If you would like help, we're here to help. Reach out. I'd be happy to take a look at your brand and see what I can come up with and talk with you. But yeah, it sounds like you didn't get somebody that really cared much about actually helping you achieve your goals. So that's unfortunate. And that's an unfortunate thing about that industry is people, anybody can say that they're a consultant, but a lot of them try to follow that, plug and play, one size fits all formula, just like the courses. And it doesn't work. You need to actually have, one-on-one time, analyze the business, figure out things in a way that is going to actually be beneficial, not just like do these 5 steps and those are the 5 steps that everyone does. This doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, so that's been I've been noticing that a lot too. I think it's just because a lot of people are struggling, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like this year has not been the same as last year, for example, for us. Like
No.
we've noticed a decline. So yeah, we're definitely repositioning. We're doing some changes where it's like, yeah, we want to focus on. We're noticing a change in our industry, and it's like you have to be able to make those swings. And
Yeah, and that kind of leads into our next, the next thing that Mark wanted to
everybody
bring up.
is talking about, of course, and that everybody knows that AI slop everywhere, and it's like, so we dropped all social media. Like the only social media, if you want to call it that we use is YouTube. And the thing about calling YouTube a social media platform, it's kind of like subjective. Like you could just never engage with the comments, and you just get your videos. I see it as a video platform that has like comment sections. That's all I see YouTube. But what I'm noticing, and she's noticing, like especially the shorts feed, there's this AI slop everywhere. So
Yes.
I honestly thought that we getting rid of Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, I thought that was going to eliminate all this AI slop because I don't want to see that crap. Like I
Yeah.
really don't want to see AI slop. So unfortunately, it's come to YouTube, and it's going to stick around and probably get worse before it gets better. Because
Yeah.
I did see an interview recently with the CEO of YouTube, and he clearly said, we're not getting rid of AI until, because his perspective is like, well, the next viral thing might be AI. It might be some AI avatar that does something viral, and it's going to be the coolest video in the world. And that's why he's keeping that crap up here, because everyone else is doing it. So
I don't know about that.
I
I've definitely noticed a lot of AI videos on my YouTube feed.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
I guess we could say we still do have a Pinterest account because we have a travel blog, and then you
Well,
put
I guess I don't really consider Pinterest social media either because I don't
Not
like talk
anymore.
to anybody on it. I just use it for like inspiration and
we pin our boards and our blogs there once in a while. It doesn't really do much, but
well, I mainly use it for inspiration. Like if I want to look at like this layout for this room, like I use Pinterest to like get ideas. Like that's what I think Pinterest is really great at, but I'm noticing when you type in something on Pinterest, a lot of the results are AI generated photos or videos, and it's just like,
well, what's interesting
wow.
is we saw today. I watched a lot of like tech shows, and they were talking about today that Pinterest is one of the first platforms to have an option where you could disable the AI crap from appearing. But I don't think it's going to work because people have been uploading like these Sora videos that they create, and a lot of times they're pretty realistic. So some people have been throwing it up on their like TikTok channel, and TikTok is flagging it because it thinks it's real. It doesn't know that what it's looking at is AI. So it's already tricking the algorithms of AI. This is
So
getting
what is
stupid.
it? So it's flagging like it is like a
So
violent.
it was like
thing.
a
It's like
guy.
a fight or something.
It was a guy like hiking, and he fell off the side of a mountain. Like tragedy. It's like a Sora thing. They put it up to TikTok, and it flagged it as like not safe. This is violent.
Right, okay.
So even those systems are flagging it as like real. So you're not going to be able to fight this stuff. And
Yeah.
we definitely have been hearing more and more. More than 50% of the internet traffic now is all bots and like AI. So we're
Yeah.
already at that threshold where there's less humans on it. So I think we're definitely changing it up where we're fighting against it. We're like, hey, we don't use AI crap when we build websites. We don't vibe code. We're old school. Our websites run for decades. Like we literally have a website that's been running over 10 years, easy. I'm not. This is what's funny. People vibe code an AI website. Where is that going to be in 10 years? Where's it going to be in 10 months? You know. So.
Well, I think if you don't know,
If you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, actually do the work, then that's going
Yeah.
to be a problem. But going back to Pinterest specifically, when they said that you can have the option to limit, not remove,
limit
how much AI that you're seeing. So that's kind of subjective, I guess. They can be like, "Oh, we'll limit it a little bit," but you're still gonna see some stuff. There will option to remove it altogether. So
We're just living in
I
this.
think that's just like, one, it's probably going to be really hard to actually find that button. They're going to bury it because they don't want people to limit it. And how much are they really limiting it?
Exactly. Yeah, we're living in very historical times. We're living in some weird times where it's like, I use AI every single day to help with coding, to sometimes come up with descriptions for YouTube. Like everybody uses it, but then I'm not using it in my like, I'm gonna explain it. I'm not using it to like
Create.
Yeah, the creation part is where I think this is horrible. This is a horrible invention. We need to be solving cancer. We need to actually be doing this stuff for good, not this AI crap that is just slop. That's what everyone's calling it. So it's like when it comes to like content creation, I don't think it should exist. But these platforms we're way too gone. But am I going to continue to use it to help me debug a JavaScript error? Of course, I'm going to use that.
That's the thing that is a challenge for me, is because I see so much potential with using AI for good. Like, yeah, it could help diagnose cancer. It could help so much in the medical field where we could like save people's lives using this technology. But we're using it to create Sora, which like serves no purpose in my eyes, like except that it's kind of fun. But I feel like we don't need it. We have so much of this already.
It's so crazy, like the resources. I mean, if you go down that rabbit hole, it's a whole other conversation with how much resources and power and water they're wasting. So I can watch
Mike Tyson
fight Michael Jackson, or like SpongeBob getting arrested. I'm just like, why? We don't need it. And then people don't talk about the mental, like, what does that do to your brain when you see odd things? And like one of the things is like people are bringing dead people back, and like I've thought about that. I was like, my parents aren't with me anymore. I'm like, do I want to upload the image to Sora and like bring them back to life? Like it would be, it'll fuck with your head. Like no one talks about, why is nobody talking about the mental state of like bringing back your dead parents?
Wasn't that something that Robin Williams' daughter had said, like, please stop uploading videos of my dad to Sora? It's like really painful for me to watch.
Well, that happens to all the dead celebrities.
Yeah,
I bet there's a bunch of Aussie ones now.
Yeah, it's something I didn't think about, but of course, like, if you are a child of a celebrity that's passed, that's got to be really painful.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not good. Like, I think that's not, like, psychologically, like, if I brought my parents back, what would that do to me mentally? I think about that. And do I want to do it? I almost want to, but, like, I know it's not them.
I don't think you should go
She told me not to. I was like, I don't know. Because what's weird is, like, I don't have any videos of them, which, you know, because it was, like, before we were recording everything every 5 minutes.
You don't have any, like,
not really
videos?
Not really. They're old VHS tapes, me running around the house with a video camera, you know. Well, it's somewhere at my brother's house, I think. But
well, I mean, at least you have that. I think that you should hang on to your memories and your photos and the real stuff, not try to create something
that's fake.
that didn't actually happen. I think it's more important to keep the
because you know what would be
memories.
Weird is like if you do that, it's like they would move unnaturally and like it wouldn't be them. It would be you would be like it's them but not them. It's going to be weird, you know. So design for websites, good visual ideas. Yeah, website design. Yeah, that's good that you don't vibe code. I'm still coding the site. See, that's exactly it. Because I'm like, I can't believe people are actually vibe coding and like actually like using it on production websites or apps or anything like that. is pretty frightening. And you know what? It's going to help us because people are going to have these broken ass websites, and they're going to come hire someone who knows how to fix things. So
yeah,
bring it on, I guess.
That's one way to look at it. I do think that that's going to happen. I also think that a lot of these vibe coding people are just jumping on the latest trend.
Mm-hmm.
Like they,
Definitely.
10 years ago, they were the people that did drop shipping.
Yeah.
Now they're doing vibe coding. And once that becomes not a thing, they'll just move on to something else.
Yep.
Like I really believe that like there's people that are always going to be like that. They're just going to hop on the latest trend because that's just how they operate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same thing here. I
write copy like crap, not good with words. So yeah, that for video scripts, I'll write the script and then sometimes I put it in AI and say like, can you make this sound a little bit better?
Yeah,
and see what it comes up with.
I'm shocked at how often I use it. Like I use it for emails a lot of times. Like I'll just have something that I kind of write up quickly and I know it's not correct. Like there's periods missing and so I'm like, rewrite this real quick, and then I just take out the M dashes so no one knows it's AI. Like everybody's doing it, and I'm just like, every tool in the freaking world is now like, use AI. We just got rid of our Vimeo account because we were using it for client websites, and they even have AI in Vimeo. I'm like, why do I need it's Vimeo? To me was always just a video storage platform. I don't need AI, and I don't need AI in Elementor. I don't need it in Google Sheets. I don't need it in Gmail. Like literally every tool.
Well, I think that part of the reason every company is adding AI to their platforms is because it helps them get more funding.
Mm-hmm.
Because
extra revenue,
yeah, venture capitalists, they hear, oh, you're using AI. AI is the new thing. Let me throw some money at that.
Yeah.
So everybody has AI now because of that. I think that has a lot to do with it.
So yeah, if you hire us to do a website, we're not throwing AI bots in your website. We're not vibe coding. Just in case someone's watching this, I'm like, we will keep your website running for many, many, many years, because she made a really good point. She's like, a lot of these platforms are not going to exist in the very short term. I'm talking less than a year. I doubt
next year a lot of the tools that people are using to do this stuff are not going to be around.
I seriously doubt tools like Lovable is one of them. Like, they're not going to exist because I don't think most people are really paying for it, and they might do it once or twice and then move on because it's still not easy. Like, this is what's so weird about the web design space is like a simple thing that you think is simple. Like, hell, animating like SVGs is some of the most complicated things you can do out there. Like embedding iframes full screen. These things are not going to do it correctly. I 100% know that. So it's just like there's these little like weird things that web design is still really hard and technical. It will never be this easy thing. So I've been in it since the beginning, and I'm just telling you, it's not going to make it where AI will get you there pretty far if you don't know what the hell you're doing. But those little tiny things, those are the things that professionals like us do all the time. Like, well, literally yesterday, I spent a couple hours. There's something off with one little line of CSS. And I'm just like, even AI couldn't figure it out. Yeah. I had to kind of troubleshoot it myself. So I was like, yeah, she went out and I was like, I'm still working on this, but I'll figure it out. I was like, I love tasks like that where I'm like, I can't figure it out.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
And it was something with Elementor. It was weird. It was an Elementor font thing. It was like Elementor does not. That's one thing when you use a tool like an Elementor. It wasn't playing well with my code. It kept overwriting it, and I'm just like.
But I was like, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I know that this works.
That's the problem.
I've done this so many times before. Why is it not working?
That is one problem when you use tools like Elementor and stuff. It's a great tool, but there are times where you have to fight against it, and it's like. That's kind of, if you go back to the Fluent card, that would be a very good example. Like, you write this code, you're going to have to be fighting against how WordPress works, how Fluent card works, Elementor works. Like, you're going to have all these layers, and then stuff's going to be pretty complicated to try to write for. So yeah, that was most of the stuff. We have a lot of opinions about AI. So does everyone else. But I don't know about you guys, but like every day, it's just like you hear about it, and I'm just like, you use it, but then it's old. We're in some weird times for sure.
Yeah, that we are.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
No. We're going to Thailand pretty soon. We're finally going to go to Bangkok. That's going to be our next big trip. Looking forward to that.
Very much looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Anytime I can get out of the United States it's eye opening for me, because a lot of people in this country, they don't leave. Like, it's frightening how many people in this country don't have a passport and don't actually leave this country. Because I don't know about you, but when I travel international and I see how other countries live and function as a society and a culture, like it changes you. Like, it really does. I always thought that was BS when people were like, "Oh, when you travel, it will change you." I'm like, hell, it does. Because
yeah, it does.
you when you live in these bubbles, sometimes it's not healthy. Like, some people never even leave like their town or their city. Like, that's bizarre to me, especially if you live in an area where within a few hours you can be in a totally different like city that has a different vibe. It's weird to me how people never leave. Like, we're so close. Yeah, I know. Yeah, some people just don't like to travel. I'm like, that's okay, but that's not us. We love traveling. So yeah, I think that was really about it. We're about 50 minutes. Yeah. So shame you're going to miss. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Jeff.
You miss meeting. I know that he told me that.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him by like a day.
Miss him.
Yeah. I wanted to meet up with him, but he's gonna be moving back to the States. So I was like, maybe we could start to meet up once in a while.
Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like Tennessee a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know. But yeah, he moved much further outside of Bangkok. A town, I don't know what town it is up north, but yeah, he moved so much further north that like going to Bangkok was probably gonna be a hike. But yeah. Oh yeah, one thing we learned yesterday is we were gonna get an eSIM card for our cell phone. I didn't know this, but depending on your carrier, our phones are locked, so we can't change out our eSIM. So there's two things that were holding us back. Is if you have a device, this is Xfinity Mobile, so it's like probably part of Verizon, but if you get a new phone and it's within 60 days, you can't unlock the carrier to put like a new eSIM. And then if the phone's not paid off in full. So usually we pay our phones off in full, but this year I was like, you know what, let's just do monthly payments because it was no interest. So I was like, let's do that. And you can't do it unless your phone's paid off. So that's a little travel tip if you want to use these eSIM services. What was it called? Airlo, I think it was called. Install the app, and then it would tell you if your device is compatible or not, or able to use it. And ours wasn't, and so I had to do a little research. So I might have just saved you some time. But yeah, when I told her that, I was like, "Damn it, we should have kept our old cell phone because we just traded in our iPhone 13s."
Yeah, but I don't think we would have been able to use it anyway because Xfinity locks it.
Yeah, well, the phone was paid off, but I wonder if the phone is 100% paid off, and you're not using it. Because it's just like a cell phone with no service on it.
I don't know. I think it's just another
way.
It
became too complicated.
It's another way for these companies to just extract as much money as
I
possible.
I think it's the eSIM. Well, that was the old school phone that had the physical SIM. So that I think you could just buy another SIM, pop it in, or whatever.
But there's other options for.
So I think what we're gonna do,
data.
what we're gonna probably do is we're gonna go find like a Wi-Fi. Like what do they call it?
Hotspot.
Wi-Fi hotspot thingy. Yeah, buy a SIM card there. I heard works. Yeah, that would work if it wasn't the eSIM though.
Because we don't actually have a SIM card in our phone anymore.
The new iPhone 17 doesn't have any like slot to put it in. It's all eSIMs now. So I think they did that on purpose. I think she's right. It's a better way to control.
So they can get more money out of you and say, no, you can't use these services that offer cheap data. Use our international data plan that costs 10 times as much.
Because with Xfinity Mobile, like I said, it's like a cheaper version of like a Verizon, but it's really cheap. But when we travel international, the minute I go on data, it's $10 a day, and I only get 5 gigs. So these Wi-Fi hotspot things that you could buy over there, it's like $6 with like unlimited data. So
and then like if you go over, they like throttle the speed. Like they just really are there to shake you down.
Yeah.
What was funny is I after this all happened, I went on Reddit and somebody was saying, oh, you can buy like a data plan for it's like a 1,000 baht, which I think is like $30.
Yeah, let me
and for like a whole month.
Yeah,
and people were replying like, "Oh, that's so expensive."
Yeah, $30. Yeah,
like that's so expensive. Like, why would you spend that much money? Like, don't do that. And I was thinking to myself, $30 is nothing. Like that's a really cheap price. That's $1 a day, and people are like, I spend that for like a year.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they really just jacked the prices up so much here for phone plans. In other countries, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. We can still use Fire Smoke. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice when you travel to not be on your phone,
Yeah.
like to just kind of put it away and enjoy it. So
Most of the time, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But-
pretty.
you can get
I
it
have
for
a-
certain things.
I have a good system where it's like I download the Wi-Fi, I download the Google Maps offline, and then what I do is I pin a bunch of places I'm going to go for that day, and I make sure I don't like leave that region, and then I just use the free cell. So I don't. I've gone on trips. Hell, we went to Japan for 10 days, and
You
I didn't
didn't
use
use
any
it,
data.
yeah.
I didn't because I kind of planned the whole day out because I don't want to be glued to my phone all the time. And then
Right.
when I get back to the hotel room with free Wi-Fi, that's when I can check my emails and all that. So
Yeah. It was hard though in Japan communicating. Like there were certain times where we were trying to talk to people
Oh, God,
and they
yeah.
didn't, obviously they don't speak English and we don't speak Japanese.
yeah.
So having a translate app would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times like I felt bad, like I wanted to talk, but like I couldn't understand what people were saying.
So
And they
maybe
couldn't
we'll
understand me.
try it this time. We can actually translate
Yeah.
it a little bit better. Yeah.
And it's nice to like, kind of know like what you're eating too. Like you can translate things and be like, okay, this is,
But it's so easy. Like
Chicken-iness.
when you go to, especially the more touristy areas, of course, like in Japan, like they usually have an English menu, so they know that we're from America or the UK or something. They just hand us the English menu. I point, and I was like point
Yeah.
two. Like they know what the hell. Like I'm not gonna.
yeah, you can get by, but I do feel like a little rude if somebody's trying to talk to me and like I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
So I try to be, a good tourist. So that was a little difficult in Japan, but we got by. Everyone was very nice.
Yeah. I hear Thailand, the people are very nice there, so
Yes,
I'm
that's
looking
what I
forward to
heard
that.
too.
We're looking forward. We love food, so the food markets is where we're going to be spending a lot of time and not a lot of money because it's so cheap. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's-
a culture shock.
yeah, it's insane how expensive food is here in the United States. So when we go international and things cost like $1, $2, I'm like, what? Because like here in America, you're basically not getting. I kind of judge everything by how much like a burger and a beer costs. Like most places were doing like $15 burgers earlier this year. That shit's like 18, 19, $20 now. So $20 plus most beers are at least minimum like $6 now. So it's like $30 now after tip and tax and everything. So it's $30 now for a beer and a burger. That's kind of
It's a lot.
that's
of
kind of
money.
where I like when I go to other countries. I'll say, okay, if I get a burger and a beer, it's only going to cost me $12. So,
Or even maybe less than that. Yeah, it's
and
things
then-
have gotten very expensive in the States,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And then one funny thing we like to do is we're going to make it a tradition is we don't eat fast food in this country at all because it sucks. So what we're going to do is we did in Japan. We're going to go to McDonald's in all the international countries we go to now just to see because we never eat fast food. So I was like, let's do because McDonald's a lot of times will have like just creative things that local, like local cuisine. So in Indian stuff, you're not getting burgers.
It's interesting to see what is
Yeah.
on the menu.
and
Get a
momos.
bag of melon. I've heard that the fruit in Thailand is so good. I'm very excited
Yeah.
about that. I love mango, and that's like something that they're known for. And just my mom's friend went to Thailand last year, and that was one of the things she kept talking about was how good the fruit was. So I love fruit, and I can't wait.
Yeah, because in Japan, fruit was hard to come by. They don't really do fruit. in
Well, they
Japan.
have it's like very like
was
expensive,
expensive, yeah.
because they're very proud of the fruit that they grow, and it's like exquisite.
But I still talk about it. It's been like 2 years now. I still talk about how like we got like a bowl of ramen for like $2 or $3, and it was like the best bowl of ramen I ever had.
Baby restaurants, cook your own food on hot pot. Yeah, those
that's
are
cool.
fun. We they have a few of those places here that we've done,
We tried it.
and it was really
gonna do
fun.
that for sure.
I would love to do it in Thailand.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to eat. I'm just gonna starve myself for like 2 weeks and then just go wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the markets when you're on the water. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
A woman comes up and just sells you stuff while you're on a boat. That's gonna be very unique. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we ended the live stream on a high note.
Yeah. There you go. Not talking
Okay.
about crap.
I think that's all for today.
Yeah. So I think next time you might see us, we might do a Halloween special. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to just talk about the shows and movies that we've watched recently and just kind of. I like to grade things and just talk about it. and
I
just-
feel like we need to watch some more horror movies before.
Yeah.
that.
Because before I met her, I was big into horror movies, but we don't watch them too often. There hasn't been that many good ones either
not-
lately.
I've heard Weapons is very good. I want to watch that.
Okay.
So I should
Alrighty.
try to do that.
All right, everyone, have a good weekend,
All right.
and hopefully see you soon.
All right, bye.